Hey, it's ToddFox here from the Halos in the Infield podcast here with the always impeccable.
Rob from Halos in the Infield as well.
We got to work on our chemistry right there. But we're
It's
going
not
to be,
there.
it's not there yet, but we're going to be talking about the Angels series or lack thereof once again against the Ohio team as we are 0 for our last 11 trips over there in Ohio. And also, we are 1-9-1 in series. We're going to talk about what went right and what went wrong, which is mostly wrong. And then we're also going to talk about some news and notes around the team and a few strategies that weren't put together too good for this team and led to some of those losses. So let's get it started, shall we? Hey, you are now listening or watching the Halos in the Infield podcast, sponsored in part by Noble L Works over on 1621 South St. Clair, where you can get discounts by just mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield, drink discounts on us, baby. And also by 714 Tickets, 714 Tickets. The price you see is the price you get, and you also get 10% additionally off in the Apply Now code once you order your tickets just by mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield. Now enjoy the show. So, Rob, how are we doing tonight as it's Sunday evening and we just witnessed a loss a few hours ago to Ohio, losing 2 out of 3. And once again, starting a series, though, 1-0.
It hurts. Can't wait for spring training.
I thought you were going to say, I can't wait for spring training, or not spring training, but preseason football. Thought that's what you were going to say.
No, I'm a Saints fan, man. I can't wait till spring training. I'll see you guys next year.
Boy, double whammy right there, man.
Yeah.
So, how you been first off? And, catch us up since the last time you've been on.
I've been good, except for the Angels won a freaking series.
Mm.
But other than that, man, it's hard out here in Dodger Town. You just see this team around here succeeding and doing great things, and people are talking playoffs, World Series, and we're over here trying to not be last place.
Yeah, I mean, when we're already getting posts or getting tagged about, we're 4 games back of the worst record, and we're trying to play for the first pick in the draft. It's not too fun. And like you highlighted the team from up north, it's like all the Ohtani talk. People are just assuming this team's going to walk right into the World Series and win it all. Just everyone's going to just bow down. But we all know the track record, and we're not worried. I mean, this team could have started out 31-0, and I still would not be phased. But
Yeah.
we'll talk to us when
True
September
Ohtani.
comes, right?
Oh, what is he? Still a $170 runners in scoring position? Yes, I
Yeah.
know. He had 2 home runs today. Great guy on first base, first inning. Other one was pretty much a mop-up home run. They're already
Mm-hmm.
up big, so they want to throw shade at Trout or any other player on the Angels that does well. We can do the same back. It's just facts, right? Numbers are there. It shows that he's the same Ohtani that we know. Love him to death. Don't get me wrong. Great player, but clutch situations, he's still a true Halo at heart.
Yeah, and plus, again, this is what the Dodgers do. They'll beat the number 1 team, supposedly the Atlanta Braves, and they'll beat other teams during the regular season. But come playoffs, I mean, you throw all that crap out the window. It's all about what have
Yeah,
you done for me lately by then. So
new
we'll
season.
we'll see what happens when they get to their second season. Unfortunately, the Angels won't be making it there, as we are 10 games under 500 as we speak. On the post game, Rob, I was mentioning the fact that it's hard to fathom right now. I mean, we've had some mediocre starts or some like pretty good Aprils or struggling Aprils, and then get it going in May. They kind of tease us right out the gate. This team's been bad. They're continuing to get worse. And when you're looking 7 games back as of tonight of first place, you're not dead, but it ain't feeling good. And if you start falling 5 or more back of the extra wild card, you pretty much got to say, hey, this one's done this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just right at home. The struggling part is that you're playing some of these good teams, and we're right there in it. We should have
Mm-hmm.
won the Philly series. You talked about that. We should have won this series. I mean,
Baltimore.
all these series, yeah, Baltimore as well too. Yeah, these are all winnable series. It's just underachieving team, and the philosophy is there. And we were talking about it before of what they want to do, and I don't necessarily agree with it sometimes. And I think it burned us today, big time. Right? You have 2 home runs given up on 1-2 counts. You're ahead of the count. Worst case, throw a swing and miss type pitch. I understand that you want to get after, but what's the worst thing you're gonna do? Walk the guy? It's better than a 2-run home run. What was Jose Ramirez? 0 for 19, 0 for 17, 0 for 19, something
He
like
was
that.
3 for 31 coming into that at bat.
Was it? Yeah. So you don't feed him fastball. I mean, it's not like we talked about this before too. You're not blowing a Ben Joyce fastball past him. You're throwing a 90-mile-per-hour fastball. Him and Matt Moore when he gave it to Naylor as well too. It's not blowy away type stuff here, so it's kind of don't leave a fat pitch up high in the middle of the plate like that. I'm just not with it.
No, I mean you blasted that right away on our chat right there. You were like, "What is he doing throwing that pitch 1-2?" And then the Matt Moore one was just a clone of what he did to him last year up in Cleveland, where he threw one right down the middle and Naylor took him deep in a clutch situation to then lose the game for the Angels. But getting back to your point, what we were talking about off air, you brought up somebody else and what they do in those situations. Give us a little, give the audience what you told me, and then we'll go around about what we were talking about pre-show.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the game tonight on ESPN. Logan Webb's throwing against the Phillies. He had a guy a 3-1 count, but he stuck to his game plan. He wasn't gonna throw a fat pitch right over the middle of the plate just to get a strike over. He didn't mind walking the guy because he threw 3 great pitches that were 3 balls. I mean, the guy just had a good eye at it. It was all changeup low. Granted, yes, I know Harper hit a 3-run home run on him, but if you look where that pitch was, that wasn't a bad pitch. That was just a really good freaking hit that Harper did. That pitch was out of the zone. He has a swing and miss type stuff, and he sticks with that game plan. He's not going to give in to the batter. He's going to still pitch his game. Whereas we did with Canning today, 1-2, you cave in the batter because he fouled a couple off. He made you work a little bit. And I think even the broadcast said too, like, where was the timeout on that to break that up a little bit? Hey, compose yourself real quick. That's what I hate about the pitch clock rule. I get it. I understand only so many times you can call time, but that's where a shortstop will usually come in, wipe his feet off right there on the mat real quick, and get back out to position just to break it up a little bit here and there. Didn't see that, but what do you see? You see a 90-mile-per-hour fastball up high. Why? It's not a competitive pitch. It's not a swing and miss type pitch that you need. You've pitched a great game. Who is calling these pitches, and why are they doing that?
Yeah, that was one of those things where I was almost going to give it to Nacho Knight, to Theis or Canning, or just a combination of the two, because I felt right there, okay, you've challenged him on 8 pitches before. That's number 9, I believe, or maybe it was number 10, and he's seen your entire repertoire. So maybe try to bust him in, and if you lose him, you lose him. Like you said, you still got the lead at that point, even with 2 men on. And you could either, you give Ron Washington the ability to either say, hey, I'm going to come out there, give him a motivational speech, or I'm going to take him out and go to another piece right here and see if I can get this final out. Instead, like you said, you groove that fastball, you challenge him with a get me over fastball on 3-2, a guy who's struggling and has a launch angle swing right now, and he fed right into it and took it out. It's like, man, dude, it's like,
yeah,
I want to be mad, Rob. I really do. And I want to be frustrated with the pitcher or the catcher selection, like you said. But then I go back and I said, well, damn it, we only gave him 1-run support before that. And that's all we gave him.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it happens that way, right? I mean, you had 6 hits today. They had 5. Theirs were home runs and got with runners on base, so it scores runs. Sometimes though, you need your pitcher in this 162 game season to shut these guys down. And I don't mind a fastball. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind a fastball, but bust them in on the hands, bust them up, up tight, up and in, or bust them low and away, something a little bit off the plate, like half a baseball off the plate or a baseball off the plate. Don't throw it up high in his wheelhouse. And Jose Ramirez looked like he sat on that pitch like it was tipped, that he knew it was coming. It was
that
insane.
That was a pitch that if you're a hitter, you could turn it around. Like if I'm seeing that pitch starting out over the middle of the plate, and I see it starting to just gently, within that second or two, start to fade outside, I know it's going to be on the outside corner for the most part and in my wheelhouse, because that's where that pitch started. And it just started to tail on the outside corner, and he just put the barrel of the bat on it and went with it. So it must have felt great coming off his bat. But damn, I just like you said, I know there's some times where they got to carry the team, but it's just, correct me if I'm wrong. I know we've had 6 starters out of the 9 that have gone down, and the couple that we've had since day one have been primarily either injured or in a funk, which is Neto, Drury, and Shonowell. Those guys have just been either in a funk or hurt off and on. And so we haven't really had too much consistency in the lineup. But the first, like, I'd say 15 or 16 games, the Angels were doing a really good job of putting guys in opportunities to get runs in. They were challenging the pitchers, by stealing bases, creating traffic on the bases, and really messing with the pitcher and the catcher because they would try to steal third base too. So everyone was like tense. Now it seems like they've gone back to now we just can't get those guys on base, because before they were getting them on but couldn't score them. Now they're not even getting them on really to score them, So is it going to get better before it gets worse, or is it vice versa right now? Because it seems like they're trending the other way.
I think they're trending the other way 100%. I mean, I wasn't big on Hicks, but we let him go for Pilar. It's the same dude. Do you see any difference? I don't see any difference at the plate.
Not at all.
Defensively, yeah. I mean, he's a little bit more speed, a little more eager, but Hicks did have the better arm. I mean, I'll say it. I mean, I don't mind. I'd rather see Jordan Adams up here or something like that. Why are we wasting time? Why are we wasting money? I mean, because we were afraid to spend money in the offseason, but now you've wasted a contract that could have been a $1.4 million contract for a pitcher, which could have gotten you something that we had. I mean, I don't get it. There's no game plan here. There's no plan for the future. They don't know what they want to do. They want to be competitive. It's unfinished business, like Artie said. For what? To chase the record for the worst team ever? It's like, come on, man. And I don't want to hear everyone tell me, oh, we won the World Series. Is the same thing. We had depth. We had a minor league system. We had pitchers who weren't afraid to go out there and throw good competitive type pitches and walk guys. We had grit back then. We don't have any of that now. Ron Washington honestly has the most grit.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like the old school factor. I still wish they got Clint Hurdle to add to his staff, but we're when we're scraping the bottom of the barrel and we're getting White Sox players, we're in trouble. And
yeah,
it's just terrible, man. I mean, we're not able to do anything right now, and it's really rough because you could see if this team had more depth or they weren't all hurt even. They could be winning these games. And like you said, they're putting up a good enough fight some nights, but it's either the pitching's not there or the hitting's there. It's never the same thing, and we can't get consistent whatsoever. I mean, at 72 years old now, Ron has got to be completely frustrated, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, just a bunch of young guys and no accountability with everybody here, and even with the veterans just not stepping up into the roles, man. I don't know. Because what he had in Texas and what he had in Atlanta, you're nowhere close here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And after game one, the Angels won 6-0 over Ohio. I was saying on the post game, tell me if they could win one of the next two, and I'll get happy. Because we've seen them win game one and proceed to just lose game 2 and 3 each time. And it was, I really got pissed in game 2. I don't know how you felt too much in this one. I did see some of your comments, but the fact that, Ohio doesn't really have the most stacked lineup, but 3 guys beat you in that particular game against Detmers, 3 of the most unlikely guys. And I was shocked. I mean, well, not unlikely as far as Laredo. Laredo always kills you. But Bo Naylor is a terrible hitter. He's not like his brother. And Bo Naylor homered. You had Laureano homer. And of all people, Austin Hedges. I mean, what did you think of the pitching of Detmers in that game?
He reminds me of Tyler Anderson last year, where he lost his swing and miss stuff. You're making good pitches. You're getting there. You just don't have that swing and miss type stuff going on. And it's almost like he's tipping his pitches again, too. Because there was a while there where he came out right through the no-hitter a couple years ago and then came back out, and everyone just knew exactly what he was throwing. He was just very, very much like a script, right? You can read the whole thing. I don't know. I felt pretty confident in him as taking over as the ace, but then the old Reed comes back out again and shows. But now I don't know if that's a Reed Detmers problem or a coaching staff problem where we're not seeing these things, because there's no way that this kid went from completely dominating hitters the first couple of starts to struggling this bad.
Oh yeah, and he's the way he started, I felt he could be 5-1 right now. but he's 3-3. He gave you 5 2/3 in this one, 4 walks. That kind of hurt, but it was those runs he gave up, including that grand slam. You can't do that to a lefty. I mean, those 3 hitters were batting less than 200, and they put up all the runs while he shut down the rest of the lineup. It was really, really weird in that game. And then, of course, you had the Angels struggling to do anything on offense once again, only 1 run on 4 hits. So, I mean, this was a real weird series, but it really sums up on how the Angels have been all season, if you think about it. They've had these weird games where, maybe they'll dominate in the stats. They're stealing bases. They're doing this and that, but they still lose. And, today's game, like with the exception of that 2-run homer earlier, Canning is off to another great start. He's had like 3 out of his last 4 good starts. Where you had mentioned his velocity's been down, but he's worked with it the last 4 games, and he seems to have had a better game plan. But then they're just getting nothing offensively.
Yeah, it's flat. I mean, yeah, he's in a great. I mean, Canning's start today is still a great start, still a
Yeah.
quality start, right? I mean, he's mixed up his pitches really well. I thought at least the past couple of times. I hum on his velo because he goes and throws those pitches up in the zone, thinking you're going to blow him away, and he doesn't. That's my only gripe with him, Det Mears, and all these Matt Moore and all these guys. We don't have that. I still think you need that little umph in it where Soriano out of the bullpen helped out or Ben Joyce helped out, guys who can separate themselves from the next pitcher. Because imagine backing them up 1-2 like that, going from a guy throwing 90-mile-per-hour fastball to 100. The eye is a little different, right? I mean,
Yeah.
granted, they're major league hitters; they do adapt to it too, but it does shake it up a little bit. It's nice. It's refreshing to see, but we don't have it. We just don't have it. We don't have the depth to do it. I don't know what the game plan is for some of these young guys now. Do you even bring them up? In your opinion, I don't. I mean, why would start the clock early?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think everyone's not really sold on the bullpen, which is fair. It's been already a work in progress, and they look to the trash pandas, and you're like, well, man, you got like the lowest ERA in all of the minors down there with the trash pandas, and then you got a pretty good bullpen, and a couple good starters in AAA, and people are fawning over that, and I'm like, well, there's a possibility you could see quite a few of these guys up by the end of the year. But like you said, you don't want to start their clock early, and why would you bring them up? But other than to get to experience, but then again, you're not in any pennant race or anything else like that. My thing has always been like, well, where's the hitters? Outside of Rada, I mean, what do you got? Like you can't just be like, hey, man, we need a third base backup and pull one up and be firmly happy with what we got. And it's like, no, we got to go outside the organization to either free agency or make a trade or get someone off of waivers. It's like, dude, like we are really, really thin on hitting. I don't know
There's no one out there.
Yeah.
I mean, who are you going to get right now? If you had to get a guy right now today, either free agent or just do free agent. I mean, we know the system doesn't have anybody, but what free agent do you have that's ready to go to hit? Why, it's Brandon Belt, maybe?
I would say let's just say the Angels treaded water, because obviously they're not going to be desperate right now. But if they treaded water and they got within maybe 4 games of a wild card, 3 games of a wild card, and maybe the White Sox, get rid of Tommy Pham, the guy we could have got in the offseason, and maybe you pick up Brandon Belt. You just pick up like 4 or 5 free agents and are like, all right, let's fill out this bench, give the young kids who are struggling a break, and let's see if we can win with these veterans. Hell, again, bring back Moustakas. But I don't know what else there is to do, man. I mean, I'm really frustrated and down because for the first time I've seen some bad Angels baseball, Rob, and I'm sure you have as well.
Mm-hmm.
But this is starting to feel like one of the 100 lost teams and the first one in Angels history.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, to see it happen under Ron's watch, but I mean, they gave him nothing and
Yeah.
really asked him to make something out of this. But yeah, this is probably one of the worst baseball performances by a franchise of this caliber, who does have a generational type talent player and everything like that. I don't know, words can't explain. But then again, you've seen the Detroit Tigers do the same thing, and they bounce back, but they have a game plan. They did the full rebuild. They sold out. We're not doing that. I mean, we said it here with Artie as the owner. It's not going to happen.
Well, let me ask you this, and I asked Randy this on the post game today. In your opinion, let's just say in a world you can go back in time and tell Mike not to re-up with the Angels, to leave the free agency, to go to the East Coast, to go win, go chase a ring, right? And let's say Ohtani doesn't get traded, but he's playing out his final year last year. Everything goes the way it did, minus Mike Trout. Do you think Artie then proceeds to sell when he said he's going to sell? Or do you think he still holds on to the team without a quote-unquote superstar?
Oh, he sells. I mean, there's no glimmer of hope at that point in time, in my
So,
opinion, at least.
so you're thinking the same way, that the fact that he's holding on to the franchise is he's got that cash cow and Trout?
Yeah, I mean, you have a legacy there, right? You have merchandise that's going to sell. I mean, you're still selling Ohtani merchandise. You go to the team store and you go online. It's like, dude, give it up. The dude he didn't want to be here. Why was he here? Because the DH was here. He wanted
Yeah,
to be in Southern California. That's the only reason why. If not, he would have been a Padre
true.
before he became an Angel. That's just my personal opinion. The guy did not want to be here. We were lucky and fortunate enough that it fell our way, and we did nothing with it the whole time. I mean, you mean to tell me year 3, year 4, why did you not re-up that dude and his contract, give him his mega contract? No, you kept him low, paying him $12 million and thinking you're going to make something out of this? Come on.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
I don't know.
Ipe was like, bro, you need to pay my boy some more money, man. I'm getting deeper into debt here. He needs more money.
Trying to run a couple parlays to make myself out of this hole. But yeah, it's like, dude, I don't know. I don't know what's worse, Artie as the owner or Ipe's gambling, because he lost a lot of money too. But
Yeah, it's very frustrating. Like this season, like I said, I brought it up before. There's been a lot of Angels baseball games where it's like, man, that was a tough season, or this was a tough series, or I remember that team, they had a lot of flaws. But what those teams had is they had the ability to either pitch their way out of stuff, or they had their ability to score. And it was either one or the other with those guys too. But you just didn't feel this hopeless. With this franchise, for whatever reason, this season just feels completely hopeless.
mhm.
You want to say, hey man, all it takes is these kids to break out. And with the pitching that we got and our luck, the kids will break out and the pitching will just go to shit.
Yeah, I mean, even the kids breaking out, man, the growing pains they're going through and all this stuff. But at the same time, these the guys that should be in Double A, Triple A, working this stuff out, but their
Correct.
clock has started and everything too. So once they get it figured out, it's gonna be year 6 for us. We're still gonna be missing pieces, and these guys are free agents and they're gone. Wouldn't you be? Stay away from this dumpster fire as much as possible.
Yeah, I gotta think that if I'm an MLB free agent, especially now going into next year, seeing what happened this year, seeing what happened last year with buddies in my own union who were freaking just let go like puppies on the side of the road that no one wanted anymore. Um, that's it's got to suck. I mean, this used to be a destination, the destination, one of the top 5, top 3 in all of baseball. Now it's
Hmm.
like, do we really want to play in Anaheim? How much are they going to pay? You know, like
You see
who's
that
on that?
A-Rod interview about
No,
that?
no, I didn't
When
say it.
A-Rod got let go from Texas, Texas said, "Hey, we can't afford you." And he said, "They go, give us your teams." He goes, "The Angels were one of the teams. I was right after won the World Series. The Yankees were up there with him too, and I think Boston was, or Boston wasn't. It was, but anyways, the Angels were part of that list. He wanted to
Yeah.
come to Anaheim, and like that goes to what you're saying right there. Yeah, we were a hot destination. I mean, guys wanted to come here. Guys wanted to play here. The great weather, year round, and all that stuff. Southern California lifestyle. They were a winning franchise. They cared. They had depth. What can you
Yeah.
say now?
I think after the whole move with Teixeira and Boris, um, I think that before that, I mean, after that, they used us as a pawn. We've been used as a pawn as like, hey,
Mhm.
Anaheim's interested in this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And they always attach those names, but we never come close to getting them. But before that, it was actually true. I mean, you had Adrian Beltre, you had trades that would have brought Miguel Cabrera here. Anaheim was a spot. A lot of players circled Anaheim, like you said, as a destination because we had a winning culture, we had a winning manager. They paid good. The players, were happy here, and that gets around. Players talk. A lot of them
Mhm.
hang out in the off season. So this was a spot where a lot of guys wanted to come. And like we were getting those Kelvin Escobars, Bartolo Colognes, Torrey Hunters. It was a spot. So
Yeah.
that all went away, dude. That all went away. And now it's almost like when my Seahawks, I think in the early 90s, it was like the Siberia of football. No one wanted to play up in the Pacific Northwest. And I think that's how it's happening down here in Anaheim, where it's like, really? I mean, we could go to San Diego and win, and we could play for the Dodgers and win, but no one wants to play right there in Anaheim, you know?
No.
Yeah.
Underpaid, undervalued, no training staff, no strength and conditioning at all. Just everything's subpar. There's nothing about this team right now
We
that you
have
can say
Chick-fil-A.
we're good. Yeah. Yeah. Score 15 runs or more, you get a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. Great. It's never gonna happen. It's it's these things that we sign, man. It's just bad deal after bad deal. I mean, honestly, for like I was at a charity event last night
Mhm.
and Angel tickets were there. And I'm Dodger Town. There's not many people bidding on these things. I'm looking at it, and as the Angel fan I am, I go, God, these tickets right behind home plate against the Oakland A's. Am I really gonna buy these right here for this? I'm like, and I always get them. My answer was no, not gonna do it, man. We are so freaking bad. It is not worth this. I'd rather do some type of other donation or something like that. But it's come to that now. It's come toward loyal Angel fans. I think myself as a loyal Angel fan, I'm there no matter what. That we're shifting away from this to go to the stadium to enjoy the game. Like you said, we still support the team, don't support the owner in itself.
Yeah.
It's a sad day like that because end of the day, we are the franchise, the community in itself too. Because if we don't buy the merchandise, attend those games, and help the revenue, granted, yeah, I get Yankee Stadium or Yankees will turn Angel Stadium, Yankee Stadium, Dodgers, same thing. You need our help. I mean, you've seen teams move. Look at Oakland. They're saying, hey, the lack of fan base, they're gone. I mean, is Arden trying to do that? Do you think he's trying to just get us out of here so he can move this team?
I wouldn't put anything by him at this point. I mean, dude's what, 77 years old? It would take him, I would say, till he's till he's about 82 years old for him to get the team to a spot where he can actually push for a move. It would take a good 4 or 5 years of just dog shit baseball and pushing the fans away with more of your agendas. But I mean, I'm never going to say never on a relocate with all the markets that want sports teams. I don't want
Yeah,
to think about that, but I look at it this way: if the Angels returned and to relevance, it took the Padres a little bit to get that fan base to the way it is right now, and it's going to take a while for the Angels fan base to come back. The hardcore fans are there, yeah, they'll kind of fill the stadium, but I'm talking about the ones that are going to talk about them, post about them, put the flags on their cars, buy the new jerseys. Like I want to get back to how it was intense, fandom and always. I mean, we used to have tailgates by other pages long before we started this one, where we'd show up with 200-300 people every time consistently. We're talking
mhm,
4 to 6 tailgates a year. It was off the chart. I mean, I had fun. I met so many Angel fans there. And before we even started, thinking about doing a podcast, it was just a great environment, man. And I miss those days. I mean, you go to Angel games now, and yeah, maybe you can have a good tailgate like we did a couple years ago, and it was kind of fun, or even last year. And it was fun, even though the team was losing, but it just doesn't have that vibe. Like you're not like jacked about getting into the stadium knowing that they're gonna win. It's like we're almost becoming the lovable losers, but not lovable. We hate losing, but we have this
yeah,
mentality where you walk into the stadium and you're like, I don't know, man. Oakland looks like they're gonna smear us tonight. Like
yeah,
I
dude,
like
absolutely, absolutely, I agree.
it's the last thing I'll say is just like I remember just going in no matter who we were playing and just feeling confident, like, oh, we could beat this team.
Oh
You know,
yeah, teams feared us. Now they love us. They love Anaheim coming to town. They love going to Anaheim just to clean up, mop up rolls here and there, and just get some work in. And yeah, they don't win it. They don't sweep us, right? Necessarily, but they'll win the series. Especially now.
yeah.
I mean, look at us. Like we can't even come close. It just I don't know. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what's going on here. And I just think with zero value put forward into this team, we're buying the stadium, upgrading the stadium, free agents. It just all signs kind of look a little weird to me. I mean, Nashville wants a baseball team, and that market will pay. And They will have a great fan base and they'll sell out. I always worry about that in the back of my mind. I hope it never happens because big Angel fan from SoCal, like to have them stay here so I can go to the games. But it's just you're right. It's the wind's out of the sails.
It would be one of those things where if a franchise needed to move, like up in Oakland, it's hard to find a buyer because you'd have to do so much work up there. The state fights you so bad. At least here in Anaheim, we know that if an owner were to be rich enough, and there are some rich owners that would love to keep the Angels here, and a lot of baseball fans that are historians. That's why I think it would be hard for Artie to move, because someone would be like trying to petition the MLB, like, hey, give Artie another franchise somewhere else, but let's keep this team here. I'll buy it, under some conditions. And it would come down to probably, okay, they're going to 75% fund whatever they got to do to keep the team here, but you're going to ask for that 25. And I think that's what would be the hardest sell, is selling a community already paying a crap ton of taxes to fill in that 25%. But that's hopefully a story we don't have to talk about or report on, but that could come realistic. I'm starting to be on your side when it comes to that whole like relocation in the long run.
Just look at business wise. I mean, if I was MLB, I'd be like, okay, so like for me, I live an hour away from Angel Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I'm closer to Dodger Stadium. You split it down in the center of Orange County. How far is it to San Diego from Laguna Niguel? 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So you get that fan base, Padre fans. Everyone else up here, Dodger fans. I mean, I don't think MLB is going to break a sweat over this, because if you're a true baseball fan, you're going to go to games. You're going to find a way.
Oh, yeah. And that's a professional team. It's not like a minor league team. So I think if you build it, they will come. So if they had to have another Anaheim stadium south of Anaheim, it still would work. I just believe that, losing this team would be a traumatic for a lot of people loss. And I just think that with all the talk about Artie, that he's got really nobody in the family that wants to keep it. I'm very interested to know if he's going to, if he has successors in the will. Like, we'll never know until it happens, but who would get the team next? Would it go automatically up for sale? We don't know any of that stuff. And who knows? I mean, Artie could be, even though he looks bad, he's looking worse the last couple of years. The guy could live another 20 years. You never know. And
he's not 6 feet under yet, but he's about ankle deep.
Yeah, there you go.
He looks pretty bad, but yeah, no, I get you. I get what you're saying on that, man. It's tough. It's going to be a long road for Angel fans here, at least 5 years.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Rob. Last thing I'll say about Artie as an owner is the fact that, like the Detroit Tigers, when they made their last World Series run, I forget the name of the owner, that he was alive at the time. He was like in his 90s at the time. And he really wanted to win a World Series. The Tigers really wanted to win a World Series for him, but they came up just short. I think St. Louis beat him. And so long story short, though, that guy was beloved, and he gave a crap till the day he died. Gene Autry, he cared, but at the end he couldn't follow the team or take care of the team like he wanted to. So he had trustees, he had Disney getting a percentage of it as he was slowly fading away. And I think at some point, like, we didn't wish death upon those type of owners, and we don't wish death upon Artie either, but we're having to fight with ourselves to say, man, the only way he loses this team is if he passes. And it's like, you hate saying that, but damn, like, it's the facts, right?
We hate saying that. I mean, if I was that age and lived a good life, I mean, plenty of money, my family's taken care of, right with God, I mean, take me, man. I'm good. It's say it. I mean, there's people in worse situations. No, that's bad to say, but they don't wish that upon him at all. But man, he's killing me. I'll tell you what, he's killing me inside and out.
Yeah, I've no matter what, was going on Autry's side, whether the team was in flux or they just couldn't build a winner, they tried and they had a game plan. Never hardly worked, but they had a game plan. And then, like we talked about Disney did their thing. And, we know Artie's success with people they hadn't played, but the last 10 years been bad. And we've said that a lot, but it's just that this season, I keep on harping on this too, is it just doesn't look like anything's getting better anytime soon. Like if we knew that things would be better in 3 or 4 years, I can endure this a lot better. But it is getting harder and harder to see this team lose on a nightly basis, and then already just be like, well, unfinished business, we're good, no interviews. Like he's not accountable, bro. Like, at least come out and say something. Have a talking head. If you hired Torrey Hunter, you should have hired him as an ambassador and said, hey, Torrey's going to speak for us. Have him spin us something positive. You don't get nothing.
No. I mean, back to the series too. I took us off track. I'm sorry about that. My thing is, I look at the series too, and Willie Calhoun, he's great hitting 400 right now for us.
Mm-hmm.
He's our number 4 hitter. What did we miss?
He just got called up. He just got called up.
It's like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, that's the best we have. And I'm glad he's doing decent right now and everything. He's getting hits, but it's either we really miss something big, or we know we don't have anything. But I've never seen that before, where you bring up a guy and he's your number 4 hitter all of a sudden, and he's a veteran that's been bounced around the minor leagues. It's like, dang, like, our game plan is it that bad, really? We have an offensive coordinator, right? Or offensive production coach, something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, what the hell? You gotta be kidding me.
Here's my thing, Rob. I mean, again, Miguel Sano didn't play for 2 years. All of a sudden, he's batting 5th, right? But you bring up Calhoun and he's batting 4th. Granted, like you said, he's raking. He had even his outs are hard hit shots. But correct me if I'm wrong, though. Bryce Harper wasn't brought up and thrown into the number 3 and 4 spot, right?
No, absolutely not.
Mike Trout wasn't either, right?
Yeah, it's like, come on. It's like, I was like watching this and like, is this really all we have, that he is tearing up the minor leagues that well and coming to major leagues to bat 4th right away? Is this team that bad? I mean, Mickey Moniak, where are you, dude? Like, you had the home run the first series and our first game, excuse me. And he's my guy, man. I don't want that guy to do so well. And Joe Adell, I'm glad he's doing well, but it's like, I just look at this lineup and where's the threat? Where's the guy you're like, okay, let's maybe not throw to this guy. We'll pitch around a little bit. Let the next guy beat us. You don't have it.
Yep. Well, with that depression on hitting, let's talk about the pitching probables. And on Monday, where Fernando's going to be in attendance for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Tyler Anderson, one of our best starters, he's 2-3, fresh off another no decision after pitching well. He goes up against the Pirates' best pitcher in Mitch Keller. And Mitch Keller continues to pitch pretty good for the Pirates. In 7 starts, he's 2-3 as well. He does have a bit of a high ERA. He got bounced around his last start, but other than that, he's pitched pretty decent for them. What do you see in this game for the Pirates and Angels?
I see Anderson taking this one. See the Angels taking this one. I mean, the stat line's pretty similar, right? Keller has a pretty high ERA, but the same amount of walks as Anderson and everything, same amount of hits. Mm-hmm. Or no, sorry, double the hits, excuse me. Anderson limits the hits overall, but Keller, he'll compound his mistakes. So he'll give up that walk and do exactly what we're saying not to do, give in to the batters to not walk somebody else and gives up those hits. So now is it up to the Angels to capitalize on that and have a hitting plan going into it? But as we know, we are the slump breakers. So you're having a tough time, play the Angels, and you're an all-star.
That's asking a lot for the Angels to get a game plan going hitting-wise.
Yeah.
So you're giving the Angels a win in that one. Damn it, Rob, I'm going to agree with you on that one. Give me the Angels. I want to see my man get back to 500 and Anderson. So this next one, though, is a toss-up for me. I don't know what you think about it. It's Priester making his 4th. Let me at least announce the pitchers, bro. Priester making his 4th start. He's 0-2 with a 3 ERA. He's going up against Patrick Sandoval, everyone's favorite Angel, 1-5. And you already saying loss?
Already saying loss. I want to see Sandy get back to it, man. And I know that everyone has us going, predicting wise. It shows us winning this game, but I just don't see it, man. I just see O'Neill, Cruz getting off on Sandy. These guys like to run. They don't hold on runners well. Anderson doesn't do either, but he limits the hits and the walks and everything a little bit better. Yeah, I don't know. Like Connor Joe right now for the Pirates against Sandy. I just don't see it hanging that breaking ball. He's got to be better. He knows it. I think he needs some time in the bullpen, but yeah, I go Pittsburgh on this one.
I'm gonna go Pittsburgh on this one as well. Just the Sandy factor until we can see him pitch 2 good starts in a row, keep those walks under 5 and the pitch count down. I just can't go with him again. Although he pitched good in his last start, I don't like him here. I do like Pittsburgh to slump bust us at some point in this series. So this is probably one where they beat us like 10-2. But this one right here, Rob, I've been thinking about this next game. And I'm really, really on the fence with this one. I want to go my inner Halo honk. I want to go my Rally Chris special. And I want to.
Don't do it. We don't win series. I mean, go ahead, but we don't win series. It's fine.
I know we don't. And that's one of the reasons why. I mean, I have a lot of reasons why, but Perez, he's faced the Angels a gang of times when he was with the Rangers and other teams. He's 1-2 with a 3.15 ERA. He's pitched pretty decent for them for a veteran. But he's going up against Soriano, who's 1-4, got his very first major league start here in Ohio on Friday. But this is a 9 a.m. start, which is a 12:30 over there, I believe. It's a 9:30 start here, 12:30 over there. Angels don't really do good in day games, man. And this is like the dayest of day games.
If Perez keeps that ball down, he doesn't give up home runs. He makes quality pitches. This is a guy who should have been an Angel. This is a guy we missed on that a couple of years ago. That I don't know what we were thinking that we were chasing. Was it who were the chasing? Was not Bauer? Yeah, no, it was Bauer. We were chasing Bauer at the time. Yeah. And we let Martin Perez, a guy affordable who would have put great innings up there for us, had an all-star year with Texas. We let him go. I mean, just like this year, you let a guy like Jordan Hicks go, Ronaldo Lopez go. I mean, our focus is elsewhere. But I say he takes this one here because he makes quality pitches. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. Granted, he won't strike out a lot of guys, but he can put it together, especially against an Angel lineup that gets a little too far out in front. He's the type of guy that will shut down a team, and we don't win series. So we get the loss.
Oh, man, because like I could see Tyler Anderson winning that game where he pitches a shutout. We win like 4-0. Keller keeps it close, but we tag on a run late. We win 4-0, and then Sandoval gets bombed 10-2. And then, you're making great points with Perez, dude. Like I wanted to say, but Soriano can give us back-to-back wins, but we got to hit, and if we're not hitting the ball, man, fuck it. I'm gonna go with
home runs.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go with a reverse Rally Chris special on this one. I'm gonna go 2 out of 3 Pittsburgh again.
Attaboy, Todd. Attaboy, man. All the cool kids are doing it, Todd. Follow me, man.
Yeah, I'm trending with you, buddy. I'll do that. Put hashtag cool kids. Man, it's so disappointing. Like when we're arguing Pittsburgh Pirates. I mean, even my voice is breaking right now. Hey, Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm going through puberty.
They're underperforming team, though. They're underperforming team. They have great pitching. They have great hitters. They have young talent who could run the bases. They'll put pressure on you and force you to make plays. I mean, this team's an all-around type of team. I just really think this year so far they just haven't really cut it. And with the schedule-wise and everything, there's a lot of games they should have won that they haven't. They let go. The first game against the Rockies that they played this series, 3-2 loss. Should have been theirs. They played the A's. The A's roughed them up a little bit too. I mean, I think they're a good team. Bender hasn't put together. His ERA is a little bit high. Mitch Keller's ERA is a little bit high too. Their ace is – who is their ace actually right now?
It's Keller for right now, but wait till that kid comes up. Is it Skis or whatever his name is from AAA?
Oh yeah, from Ellis, the Fullerton kid, right? He's a Fullerton kid.
That guy, man, he's going to be amazing, dude. Like that's probably their best pitcher they put together. I mean, they had Charlie Morton at one point when he was in his prime. They've had a lot of pitchers come through there. Cole came through there. Glass now.
Anderson was there shortly.
Yeah, Anderson was there. They've produced some pretty good pitching. So I'm pretty sure this kid's going to be there, but for how long?
Well, we avoid Jared Jones this series. Jared Jones is the guy that's lighting it up right now. He's their ace. He has over 50 strikeouts.
Damn, man.
But yeah, his ERA is two ERA. He's a 2-3, but they're just not putting runs together. But I think this team, once they get hot by playing the Angels, they're going to start rolling teams here and there, man. I hate to be Debbie now. This is the feeling though right now, right? I mean, tell me, you guys at home, is anyone feeling like this? Like honestly, we have confidence going into series, like you just said, Todd, to go win and even compete. I don't have confidence to compete with these teams, let alone win. It's broken. The system's broken from the top down. I mean, I love Mike Trout, but you're right. You got to trade him. You got to rebuild. You got to go in Trout, Ward, Anderson, gone. We need to see you guys leave and go elsewhere and flourish and do something. We'll
Yeah,
keep
clean it
Hoppy
up.
Neto. We can.
Clean up whatever you can get out of it and just try to focus on the future, get them draft picks by losing. And again, give us something to rest our hat on this one. But well, it's a good show, man. I wish we had more positives to bring out. I mean, we tried, but there's just, it's tough, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I don't know. We're just an underperforming team. We're there. We have what it takes. We've seen it, guys. I mean, we're competing in these games. We're not getting blown out every single game. Just stupid mistakes, and we compound those mistakes, and we don't change our approach at the plate. We don't change our approach while pitching and playing defense. It's going to happen to us. It's going to be a long season this way. But
Yep. And especially if we keep this guy, which is Suarez, check this little 10-second clip out. He'll make you famous when he comes in. This is a good clip here that Randy produced.
If he tries me, I will make you famous.
dude, freaking Yaz, man, that's awesome. That is awesome. And yet we roll with this guy. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand. We're gonna drop Aaron Hicks. We're gonna keep to sign Kevin Pillar. We're gonna keep this guy. We're gonna keep Ben Joyce down because you can't throw strikes. So you keep this guy. It's like what is with it? He must have seen Artie do something illegal, or he must have known about the bookie or something like that, and they're trying to keep him hush. Artie brought the bookie in, man, to screw with Ohtani.
I'm telling you, there's always one player per Angel team that you're like, why is this guy still on the team? But or there's this slide too, which this works when we're at home. He is our new squid.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be mad if the guy took steroids to be better at this point in time. I'm usually a big proponent against that stuff, but dude, do something. At least try to be better. But
this guy reminds me of a guy who would be DFA'd about 3 or 4 times, clear waivers each time, accept the assignment, and then still wind up making the roster at some point.
Dude, yeah, yeah.
Oh boy. Well, Rob, it was a good show. Thank you for coming on and batting cleanup for us. I mean, we had some injuries, and you got right into the cleanup spot as well. So
yeah,
you're our California.
Appreciate it. Send me back down now, Coach.
No, you're good, bro. We appreciate all your background and everything that you bring to the table, man. Good stuff once again.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on. I'll wear my Dodger hat next time.
No, you won't do that. I don't care where you live. I don't care if you get a condo right outside Chavez Ravine. That's not acceptable.
Oh, never.
All right, Rob. So for ToddFox and
Rob.
Yeah, I had to say your name again.
Yeah, it's okay. It happens.
Yes. We'll catch you
hat
next.
off. Screw this team. Piss me off right now.
I take mine off, but I blind everyone with my bald head. So there you go.
So.
All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll talk to you after the Pittsburgh series.